Walker Parks, is he?
Oh, he'll be all right.
He'll be all right.
He'll be all right. He'll be good to go. He didn't go today. We held him today, but he'll be all right.
Just general takeaways from today. Would you like?
Today is it was good. This is always actually one of my favorite days because you kind of, I don't know, whatever long, 17 days or so we've been going since the 29th when we first started. So there's a ton of installation and kind of get to that point where, it's been a lot of good on good. And so a lot of times some of those twos think they should be ones. And so this is always a day where I go everybody's a one because I put the so-called twos versus the ones in every situation. And so everybody's a one, right? Because if you are a backup, when you go in the game, they don't call timeout and take, Cade out and, all them guys out and put in the backups. That doesn't work. That's not how it works. And so today is always a great day to be able to evaluate where our backups are. And a lot of them get exposed on this day. And some of them show, hey, okay, they're ready for the show. Again, the play may be bad, but we're evaluating each one of them and how they do their job versus what we think is the best we got. And so it was a critical day from that standpoint. And then this is the day, this day won us the championship last year. This day right here won us the ACC championship because it's a critical situation day and end of the game type of stuff. And that's, all of a sudden, you don't ever know, you don't need it till you need it, right? And end of the game in Charlotte, we executed into the game situation. It literally, what we do on this practice showed up on that game day. And so a lot of critical end of the game situations, special situations, big play, need a touchdown, 2 seconds on the clock, 3 seconds on the clock, no timeout, last plays of the game, overtime, 2 points. I mean, there was just a lot of things that we got done, and then just got another 2-minute rack. Got some, good bit of high red zone, some low down in the green area. So just a good day, but mostly, our twos on ones. And, again, some guys kind of showed up, some guys got exposed. And so it's an opportunity for everybody to get better from it. But this is our last preseason game, and it's all we get. We only get 2. And so always try to do it at this time of camp. Tomorrow will be kind of breaking camp mode for us. We'll practice tomorrow, and when we finish up tomorrow, they'll have Saturday off, and we'll come back in Sunday, and it's game prep. So tomorrow's kind of last day of that camp mentality, and then we got Sunday, and then we got all day Monday, Tuesday, 2 full days with no school to really have 2 good days of game prep. So then they'll start school next Wednesday. So this is a critical time for us as coaches. We got to make some decisions, because again, you only go based on what the tape shows and who you've been able to evaluate at this point. So we got to make some decisions and start getting our football team ready. I mean, we don't have to cut nobody, which is a great thing, but we got to decide who the 2 deep are and get ready to go play.
Who are some of those second-team guys that kind of showed out, you said?
I need to watch the tape. Watch the tape before I really answer that specifically.
How did Jaheim look today, and where did he fit in sort of?
Jaheim is a 1. Jaheim is, and if he doesn't run out there first, he's a 1. He has had a awesome camp. He really has. I mean, we're really, really fortunate. I'm really proud of Helton and TJ and Jaheim and Denhoff. I think all 4 of those guys are guys that can really go play for us and win for us. So I feel good about that group. And then it's the next group, we're bringing those guys along. Been very pleased with Mayo. I think he's had a really good camp. He's a guy that's coming. We need some depth guys. So Mayo and Caden Story and Marcus Dixon, those are guys that we need them to kind of keep taking that step for us. And we haven't had a chance to have Ari full speed yet. So he's practicing the team separate, all the Indy, but he hasn't been able to go live yet. So at some point we'll get him, hopefully next week or so, but to where he can go full speed. So I haven't really had a chance to evaluate him good on good. But at some point, I think he'll be able to get in the mix. But I feel really good about those 4 guys. But as far as Jaheim, I mean, he has really had a great camp, and I mean, he's been right there with TJ and help. And then I'd say Denhoff and Faroff from a production standpoint.
The backup safeties, you were real high on them the other day. Did they looking good again today?
Yeah, I mean, like all those safeties. I mean, there's a lot of competition there. Yeah, I mean, there just is, and that's a good thing. I mean, I know sometimes people want you to just have, oh, this is the guy and this is the guy. Well, I like it more when we got a bunch of guys. That's kind of how I like it personally. I like it when we got a bunch of guys that I trust to go play. It makes me sleep a lot better when, you know, you're not worried about one guy grabbing an ankle and all of a sudden there's a Grand Canyon drop-off. I like it when we got dudes. I kind of liked it when we had Vic Beasley and, you know, and Shaq Lawson rotating in. That was pretty good. I like it when we got Grady Jarrett and DJ Reader and Carlos Watkins. And I like it when we can rotate these receivers that we got and these back. We got a lot of good depth. Safety's the same. We got some guys that have we got a bunch of guys that have played, but we've got some guys that have shown they can really be a factor for us this year. You know, like Ronan, for example. I mean, he's had a really good camp, and he's a guy that we moved him the week, I think game week, like right before the game week last year. I just, you know, and I wish I'd done it earlier, but he looks different. And so this time last year, he was just trying to figure out like which way's left and right and up and down, and now he looks the part. And so he's in the mix, and you know, Khalil and KG and Robert Billings, Ricardo. I mean, Joe Wilkerson's had a nice little camp. Colin Webb has made a big jump for us. He's really changed his body. He's had a good camp. So I mean, there's, you know, T-Bone. T-Bone plays everywhere. T-Bone's kind of our you know, security blanket. We can kind of put him anywhere. Just a great veteran presence. I mean, we've got I don't know, I think I said KG. We got a really good, just deep group of guys that we think can play. Noah Dixon has been out. Noah was kind of trending, and then he's been out the last week. So hopefully we'll get him back soon. He's been out of the mix for about a week.
Was Khalil Barnes and Jaheim Lukus able to come back to practice this week?
They've practiced some. Yep. Did not scrimmage today. I think Jeadyn probably could have scrimmaged, but he was in green, so I think he'll be ready to go probably Saturday or Monday. We'll be off Saturday or Sunday night. He should be probably ready. And then Khalil's close. He's getting closer. He did some end-of-the-game stuff, but no live scrimmage today.
What did you learn about the punting competition today?
You know, I know everybody's all concerned about the punting situation, but because, you know, we don't like just say this is the guy. I think we got multiple guys. I mean, same thing. I know everybody wants to just have one guy, but I think we got 3 guys that can go do it. And, you know, right now, I'd have to pray about it and put their names in a hat and ask God to pull out the right one for me on game day because they're really competing. You know, they're competing. I love that. I love the fact that they're competing their tails off. They all can do it. So, you know, we got 2 weeks. We'll start. It's one of those decisions we got to make, but also one of those things that I think will probably go, you know, probably another week or so. That's just how close it is. But they all can do it. They all can do it. I mean, they can launch at 60. They can also, you know, shake at 20. So we can do all those things, but they're a talented group. I think it's going to end up being a good group for us. And hopefully one guy will eventually really solidify it, but, you know, sometimes you got to go to the game to really make that decision. When it's that close, sometimes you got to get to the game. But the good news is I think we got 3 guys that can do it.
The Win the One motto that you guys have been repping, is that the saying for the year, or is that more so for the LSU game? What does it mean to you?
No, it's just kind of something for our season, and that, you know, every year I kind of have something that helps me kind of focus, and I think something that's good for our team. And like, you know, sometimes you can get overwhelmed with the enormity of what you got to do and what's to come, and, you know, expectations, noise, long season. I mean, there's a lot. Camps coming. I mean, there's a lot. And it's just kind of something that was just kind of on my heart of, you know, I mean, like, I mean, first of all, we need to just be one. You know, I think we need to play for an audience of one. We don't need to worry about nothing else. Just live our life from the inside out, but we got to be one, like truly be one. You know, one heartbeat, one spirit, you know, one purpose, and because this is one season for this group. This is the only Team 130 that there will ever be, right? And so we got to be one, and then just win the one. And when I say win the one, I think that's how you don't get overwhelmed. You can be overjoyed if you truly will just win the one. And that's for life too. It's not just for football, it's for life too. Win the one meeting, the one night's sleep, the one, you know, decision in front of me, the one practice, the one rep, the one quarter, the one half, the one game, the one week. Just win the one, and just really truly, because what happens then, you look up and you go, wow, what happened to that decade? Where'd it go, right? Like, where'd them 10 years go? Larry, I mean, what the heck? Like, what the heck? You know, like, but when you love what you do and you're really engaged in what you're doing, and you're not worried about next week, or we don't have to win the 10. Let's just win the one. And not even the game. It's just the practice, the meeting, this meal, again, this night's sleep. You know, just a mentality of like, let's just win the one. Hey, something bad happens. All right, well, let's just win the one. This play. And it's just a mindset that I'm just trying to instill in these guys, because there's a lot to come. And this is a long season. You gotta have some resiliency and things like that. And so I just think it's good, you know, to have that mentality. But we got to be one. We got to truly, truly be together, and then just, you know, have that mindset of just win the one right now.
Seems like Shelton and Keith have given you some answers that I guess.
Tiger.
Yeah, that position.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got 2 or 3 backers that can walk out there. I mean, we can put Wade out there. We can put Jamal out there. Jeremiah can go out there and play. I mean, we've got a lot of options. That's another position that we've gone from, you know, to me, that was a question mark going into the spring for me, you know, as far as like, okay, is our depth going to develop like it needs to? And man, they really have. And are they going to do what they need to do from spring to now? A guy like Jamal, for example. And so, I mean, we've come out of camp now. We got 6 guys at backer that can go win for us, that I really believe can function. And it's been a while since I can say that. And then I'd say a 7th, you know, Fletcher Cothran is another guy that's, you know, he's a very functional player for us too. So, but Sammy and Wade and Jeremiah, Kobe, you forget Kobe's a really good player. You know, he's just one of them guys, like I said, he plays beyond his attributes. He's a very good football player. He's smart, he's savvy, and that really helps him. He doesn't have great measurables, but he plays beyond them. And you love guys like that. He's just an instinctive guy. He's tough. He loves to play. And so it's a good group. They've really developed some nice depth at linebacker. So I think that's going to be a strength for us as we go through the season. But we got 2 or 3 guys that can go play, you know, big nickel if we need them to.
Was Randall able to scrimmage
Yep,
today?
had a huge run. I mean, had a couple big plays early. Had probably about third play of the game was maybe a 50, 60-yard run. It was awesome. Had a good day.
Obviously, Ashton and AV at corner. Back, how much of Strozier and Corian Gipson close?
They've made that's another group like linebacker that's made a good jump for us, and those 2 in particular. I mean, Strozier has taken a huge jump. A huge jump. Like he was hanging off the cliff, you know. I mean, and you know, we're throwing a lifeline down, and he's just hanging, and now he's back on top of the land and, you know, halfway back to town. I mean, he's really back in a really good spot. I mean, I'm proud of him. And the same thing with Gip. Gip is a completely different dude than he was this time last year. So that's a real blessing, because I think, you know, it gives us 4 very functional guys. And then, you know, Shelton can play corner. Tink can play corner. Miles Oliver, hopefully will be back. He's missed the last couple of days. He should hopefully be back next week. Miles flashes. He just has no experience. He has very little experience, but he does flash some. And so hopefully he can have a season where he can just stay available for the whole year. And then Mankaka does a good job for us as well. So we've created some pretty good little depth there, but Strozier and Gipson have really stepped up for us.
How did Cade look today?
Awesome.
Did you see some of that situational
I think he was
awareness?
5 of 10, 4 touchdowns, so he was efficient. Pretty good day. I'd like for him to be 6 of 10, but I prefer that.
Are Stephiylan and Burley, are they ones, or what are they?
I would say Stephiylan is a 1, and Burley's, 1B. I mean, he's had a good camp. He's earned the right to play. Last year we wouldn't put him in there, but he's earned the right. He's earned the right to go play at this point. I mean, we got 2 weeks to go, but I'm proud of Burley. He's had a good camp. Stephiylan is a problem. He's a good football player. Him and K. Park and Peter, if those guys are available every game, they'll have a good season. It's important to them. They're well coached. They're tough. They'll do what they need to do to be productive.
With Parks not scrimmaging, who stepped up in his place, would you say, along the offensive line?
Sadler. We got Sadler and Harris. We're rotating a bunch of guys in there, but same group. We've actually, Walker kind of got banged up playing center. We've been working him at center some, and he'll be fine. I know everybody's panicking. Walker's fine. He's fine. But he was actually getting some reps at center, and so we've been kind of cross training him a little bit, and that's been really good. But Elijah Thurman. We have Elijah Turner too. Elijah Thurman and Harris and Sadler. Those guys are all rolling in there. It's been good.
We spoke with Collin earlier this week. He mentioned how his progression from recovering from a back injury.
Collin
Sadler.
Sadler.
Yes.
Okay.
He talked about recovering from his back injury. How good do I have crunch? I guess. What has he been like just being back healthier? What has he brought to the team?
I mean, he's a great football player. The guy's a mauler. I mean, Collin is special. He's really, really good. And I know it's big praise for a guy that hadn't played much. He played a little bit, and and then he got hurt and was out all last year. So he hadn't played a ton, but he's a baller. Collin Sadler is a baller. He can play 4 positions: left tackle, left guard, right guard. I mean, he is a really good football player. It's very important to him. He's as tough as they come. He's athletic. He's heavy-handed. He's mean. I mean, he's good. Good player.
How was Vizzina today?
Good. And I thought he had just, he made some really big throws. He missed a layup on just a little dump pass to the back, but and he got some reps with the ones today. So it was good to see him get in there. And that's 2 scrimmages in a row. He's really stepped up for us. So CV's made a huge jump. I'm really proud of him. Trust him, and hopefully we can play him when we want to. But if we got to have him, I think he'll be ready for us. Ready for it.
With Wesco putting on some weight, has he been able to hold his line better? Have you seen him be?
Yeah, I mean he had a great day today. Had a couple touchdowns today. I mean Wesco, TJ in particular, those 2 guys are really gifted outside as far as just they've always been good finishers on the ball even before they really developed physically. But both of them are just physically different guys than they were this time last year. A year in the program, a year in the strength and conditioning, and it makes a difference. I mean, it does. Getting off of, people grabbing them, knocking hands off, leaning on people, body control with people into them, just it makes a difference. It just amplifies what they're already good at.
How did Nolan do today? No, you mentioned last week.
Hauser?
Yes.
Had a great day. Y'all make sure you print that. He had a great day. He stunk last week. He was average. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't what we need him to be. But he actually had a really good day.
He made the 56-yarder at the end of practice.
Well, I wasn't even paying attention to him. I was more working on some situation stuff. But he had a good day. He's had a good few days. But he's just Nolan stuff just goes off his back. He's just kind of wired the right way. But I thought he was average last week. But he's been good.
How about procedural pre-snap stuff? Was it
Pretty good. We had one snap infraction with the second group. We're 2nd and 2, and we had a infraction, and and that was, we weren't on the same page, and now all of a sudden you're 2nd and 7, and then we don't get the first. So those are little game changing. It was with our 2s, so those are some game changing type stuff, that just some mental stuff that we got to eliminate. We had a few more penalties today than we had the last game. We had one offside on defense. We had a receiver jump offside. We hit a big play. And we had 2 guys moving, a tight end and then a receiver moving. The tight end wasn't set in time. So those are critical errors that get you beat. Happened in our first game last year. We had a big play and, first momentum of the game. And in big games like that, and the one we're getting ready to play, early momentum is a big deal. And all of a sudden you got, guy moving, guy covered somebody up, and those things are hard to overcome.
So maybe more on topic. Just Will and Drew, having them on the coaching staff, how meaningful has that been to have all of your sons on the team at the same time, and how much have you seen them develop?
Oh man, it's first of all, it's amazing. It's a blessing. It's not even one of those things you ever even think about. And it's cool. They chose to. This is what they were passionate about, wanting to do, but I mean they're way better than me. I can tell you that. They're way better. I got hired when I was 26 at Alabama, full time, and so I think Will's 26 and Drew's 25, and they're way better than me, way ahead of me. They're going to be. They're already good coaches, but they're going to be great coaches. They're very equipped, and it's been fun though, because even though growing up in the house and they're around and you think it's just like when they came to Clemson. They knew our program, but they didn't really know our program because they weren't in all the meetings and all the stuff. And that's why I was excited, because I really wanted them to get everything holistically that our program instills and offers in these players. But they didn't really know campus. Like, they didn't really understand campus, even though they've grown up here. And same thing coming over to this side of the curtain. They really didn't really understand the depth of all that goes into coaching and preparation and leading and managing, and so it's been awesome. It's been awesome for them to really get what I think is a great foundation in this business, the way I think it should be, and that's something that they can hold on to for the rest of their careers. But they're going to be really good. All I can tell you is they're way better than I was at that age.
I guess what ways are they better than you?
Smarter, know more, way more worldly and cultured than I was by a long shot, and they've just been exposed to so much more than I was at that age, and they've been around more, football wise too. Just been around a whole lot more than I was stepping into that role at 26.
I know Will had a different path than Drew to get there.
Yep.
Can you talk about that? Because you kind of had a similar way with Will, where you left coaching for a while and then came back.
Yeah,
Is that similar?
Difference is I coached for 8 years. Mm-hmm. I know some people think I went and just sold insurance and then just showed up at Clemson. I've read that a few times, like I'm just some insurance guy. Never sold insurance, first of all. Not that there's anything wrong with that. My father-in-law's an insurance guy. But I coached for 8 years. That's all I'd ever done. I was 18 when I went to Alabama, and I left when I was 31. So all I had ever done was ball and be a part of a team, until I couldn't stay in my office anymore. Like I had to pack up and leave, because Coach Fran wasn't keeping nobody. I tried to hang around as long as I could, and had to hit the road, Jack. And then I tried to stay in coaching. I couldn't get a job. I couldn't get a job. Very few people wrote me back. Didn't get a job, and it was different in those days too. If you didn't, you had no analysts. Like when I was coaching, you had 9 coaches and 2 GAs. So when I was a GA for 3 years, I was the only offensive GA. I did it by myself. Broke every film, drew every card, ran the entire scout team. You served every coach. And I had Homer Smith for 2 years, Mal Moore was there in '93, but you know, it's just different. So when we got let go, there were no analysts, there was no support staff, there were no extra. You didn't have that. You literally had 9 coaches and 2 GAs. Well, I couldn't be a GA, and I couldn't get a job. I couldn't get a job. No matter what my experience was, it just never worked out. And so, if you didn't get hired between like December and February, you were out in those days. Jobs didn't pop up. You know, you didn't have analysts moving on, and you didn't have all that stuff. So one season turned into 2 seasons, and so I was out for 18 months. And you know, the only reason I got into real estate development was because my contract was up. I had to have a job. I had 2 kids. I had to go to work, and I had to put that MBA to work. And so I did that for 18 months, and you know, next out of the blue, Clemson called, and that's how I came to Clemson. But I knew there was never a doubt I wanted to coach. There was no, I didn't. It wasn't like once I got into coaching, once I knew, and then coaching for 8 years, there was never like I never wanted to leave coaching, but I didn't have a choice. You know, God took me out of coaching, but it made me better. Those 18 months, I wouldn't trade it for nothing, even though I felt a huge void in my life for those 18 months, and I was making more money than I'd ever made in my life. You know, you didn't make any money coaching in those days. And all of a sudden I was making really good money for my age and at that time. And I was off on the weekends and 9 to 4:30. I mean, I had more time than I knew what to do with, but I had a huge void in my life. I just didn't feel like I was fulfilling my purpose. But I was just prayerful about it every day that, you know, I knew what I wanted to do, but I wanted it to be God's will. I didn't want it to be my will. I wanted it to be God's will. And I prayed literally every day for 18 months to drive, 30-minute drive in, that they just help me be great with what I'm doing and joyful with what I'm doing and make a difference. But God, here's what I'm looking for. I really want to coach, but only if it's your will. Oh, and by the way, if it is your will, here's the type of place I want to go to. And here's the type of coach I want to work for. And man, that's what happened. God brought me to Clemson. He gave me the opportunity to work for an incredible man in Tommy Bowden and this amazing environment. And it's been amazing. But I didn't choose to get out. Will, you know, he wasn't, I didn't know what they were going to do. He wasn't sure what he was going to do. And he just, I think, wanted to go do something else. And he was really having a lot of success, but he just, I think, felt the call like this is what he wants to do. Drew knew right away this is what he wanted to do. So they both got their MBAs, and they're smart and, you know, got bright futures. They're going to be really good.
What kind of advice did you give Will, though, when he was thinking about coming to coach?
I told him if he wasn't sure, I told him, are you sure it's what you want to do? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, okay. I said, well, come and intern for a year. And so that's what he did. And, you know, he's a pig in mud. He's loved it. I mean, he's just a natural. Him and Drew, they're naturals. They're naturals at it. I know they're my kids, but they're really good. They're really sharp. They're gonna be great ones. I'll be a granddad one day driving the RV, parking somewhere. Me and old Chapel. I'll be reading Chapel's article. Drew something. I'll be reading an article. I'll be out there making some burgers on the grill in the RV one day. Maybe Larry will come by and see me. So it's fun. They got a long career ahead of them, and they'll do great. And you know, it's fun. It's fun while they're here. I mean, you know, who knows how long I'll have them? Probably, you know, that's the only thing about this family business. You know, you kind of got to go, right? And you know, but it'll be good. Their time will come, but you know, hopefully they'll be here for a little while. And again, you know, who knows what's going to happen? And but I'm excited about their futures.
Anybody else?
Talked about seeing behind the curtain, not being a player now, but be on the coaching side. I think they talked about the program install, like how important that is. I've never seen that before.
The all-in meetings?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the coaches, like why is that something you do? What do you actually talk about there?
Well, it's how I protect the program. It's how I keep everything connected. It's how we stay on the same page. It's so you don't ever get away from our purpose, our why. Everybody, it's also how you have an appreciation for each other's role. because everybody, how do you know what everybody's role is? There's a lot of people. So it's about a little over 5 days, from about 8:30 to 5, sometimes 5:30. And it's all day, but it's just a lot. I mean, it's a complete program installation and what I call culture infusion. And so it's just my time to make sure that everybody understands everything about our organization and why. And there's no questions. And it's the time to challenge everything. If there's a question or, whatever it is, but there's a lot of moving parts, that's biblical, right? Like, I think it's Ecclesiastes somewhere, I think it's what it is, where there's many parts of the body, right? There's many parts, but one body. And we have many parts, but we're all part of the one body of Clemson football. And, you've got to keep it connected, and everybody has to have an understanding of what our core values are, again, what our purpose is, what all of our processes are, what everybody's responsibility is, and, that's how you get everybody all in. That's why they're called all-in meetings. Y'all should come sit through them for 5.5 days. They're great. You'd have a ball.
Talked about intensity, the last scrimmage, how intense you felt it was for a first scrimmage. Did that carry over today? Do you feel like this team has really taken that part to heart?
Yeah. I mean, I think, like I said, today was different in that we've purposely it's all ones on twos to kind of really challenge everybody. But yeah, the intensity's been good. I mean, the guys have competed, and I think I had one moment where I had to kind of light a fire in a meeting, but for the most part, these guys have handled their business. And so again, now we're at that point where, tomorrow we'll break camp. We'll correct all the stuff, and Saturday get a day off, and kind of like you're just flushing camp. And we come in on Sunday, and now instead of, the entirety of offense, it's all right, we start game planning. You're not going to take everything you've done in camp into one game. You prepare for the season in camp. And now it's, okay, here's everything that we've done. Here's what we want to do for this game and how we want to apply it. And start studying. So that's always a fun time when you start, you're not looking at each other every day, and you start studying the opponent, who you're going to play. It starts to get real. It's 2 weeks from Saturday. They got to, and then again, the timing of it, hopefully by Sunday, their legs will start bouncing back a little bit, and then we've got 2 more good days of no school where we don't have any rules, and we can have a lot of football opportunity to get a good head start. And then Wednesday they'll start school, just be meetings. That's a lesson I learned many years ago. I don't practice on the first day of school because I just get ticked off every year. It's a terrible practice because I don't know why, so I just quit doing it. So we just meet that day. And then we'll come in on Thursday, have a really good game day, game prep, and then next Friday is our mock game, full dress rehearsal, full game situation. It's all scripted, but it's a very important day to just get us ready. For coaches just as much as it is the players. It'll be the first time we're all on the same sideline and things like that. And then we'll be in here that Saturday, and then it's game week. Their off day will be Sunday, and you're rolling into game week. So it's coming fast. It's going to be fun. It's exciting.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Devin.
Sorry I botched that question.
All
All right.
I didn't think you knew anything about it, so I'm like, hey, just toss it out there and see if you get it.